Good evening, welcome to the Danvers Zoning Board of Appeals. As I said, there's an agenda here or outside the door for the meeting if you'd like it. And I ask everybody to turn off their cell phones so they don't ring during the meeting. I'll introduce the members of the board. To my right, John Bonner, Ken Scholes, our clerk, Becky Kilborn, Jeff Sauer, Ken Jovinen, and Corinne Doherty. And from the zoning board, from the building inspector's office, Rich Maloney, and our building inspector, and Kathy Archambault, our secretary. We have minutes from the last meeting. Is there a motion to accept those?
Motion to accept the minutes?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I was not here.
Did I miss something?
I wasn't here, so I couldn't
Forgot that he
motion.
wasn't here.
Waiting for,
Waiting for Bob.
waiting for Bob to make a motion.
The procedure for tonight's meeting, the clerk will read the notice of the case. Then we'll ask the applicant to come up here and present their information to the board, and we'll ask questions of the applicant. Then we'll go out to the audience and ask if there's any questions or comments from the audience, and then we'll come back to the board for deliberations. So that three-step process. And depending on what the board says, I'll give you your options in terms of moving forward. We're going to start with the other business at the bottom of the agenda, and then we'll go to the top of the agenda. Am I forgetting anything? No? Okay.
You got it.
Here we go.
Here we go. Our first case is Sri Narnarya Madev LLC, Bruenjes Patel, docket number 18-4794, requesting to modify decision to include a rear shed dormer at 76 High Street. We are in receipt of a letter, Madam Chair. Dear zoning board members, we are looking to amend the decision for docket number 18-4794 for 76 High Street. We came before the board for 3 front dormers which were approved. However, there was a miscommunication and we also needed the variance for the rear shed dormer. The dormer is required to have a legal ceiling height for the rear and second existing egress stair. The rear shed dormer is highlighted on the attached plans. Thank you, Bruenjes Patel.
Hi, come on up here. Hi. Hi.
My name is Bruenjes Patel.
Yes. Do you want to just tell us, you got the whole roof off of that building, right? Yes, okay,
Because we're waiting like just the back side the dormer.
okay.
That's why.
You need that for the ceiling height for the staircase. Okay, I'm just going to ask Mr. Maloney to, I know he's been out there, and give us an overview of what's going on here.
I've been out there, so I actually helped them fill out the first application. And it wasn't clear with that rear shed dormer.
Okay.
So they started to build it, and I go, I don't remember that, so I kind of shut them down and looked at it, and he didn't ask for relief for that. So I made him come back before the board to clarify that. But there was an existing staircase that was, the second means of egress, that was kind of stuffed into the back, so this actually does create a legal ceiling height in the back section.
So there's no real added square footage, it's just basically ceiling height for
It's
the
in It's in
staircase?
the existing, it doesn't extend past the building, and it doesn't extend past the existing ridge line.
Okay, all right. Anything else you want to add? All right. I'm going to ask Ken to vote on this case, and I'll start with John.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, I just want to go back to the building inspector. So, Rich, this was part of a rough inspection or something? Is that what highlighted this?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
I have no questions, thank you.
I have no questions, Madam Chair. Thank you.
I have no questions.
Corinne?
I have no questions.
Okay, I have no questions. Any questions or comments from the audience? Well, it's pretty simple. Well, back to John.
Yeah, this is a minimal change, and I would vote in favor of this.
I would vote in favor.
I will vote for this.
I'll vote for this too.
I'll vote for this as
And I'll
well.
vote for this. Can I have a motion, please?
Madam Chair, I move that we, amend the existing variance to modify variance 18-4794 to include the rear shed dormer to accommodate headroom for the second means of egress from the second floor residential unit. The hardship has been established in the original variance.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Good luck.
Get it,
Get the roof on.
Before it rains.
okay.
Our next case is Eric and Michele Wade, docket number 19-4807, requesting a special permit for an oversized extended family living area in the lower level from 750 square feet to 1,091 square feet, in accordance with section 9.3.3.3 of the Danvers zoning bylaws at 1 Appleton Street.
Hi, is that you? So, if I ask you to come to the microphone, and Corinne is going to vote on this, Kathy. Thank you. Okay, what would you like to do?
We have, as you may see in the quite quick little letter that I wrote, is that we have some family health issues.
Okay.
And it is very important to my family that we are all together and supporting each other at this time. My goal is for my parents to move in with my wife and daughter and I for the remainder of their lives. I have no interest at all in the future turning this into a rental property. A matter of fact, in the future, it will be turned back into a basement, almost probably immediately.
Okay,
But I request that I'm able to have my parents come live with us, and so we can take care of our family issues.
okay. And you gave us a floor plan, and,
I drew it up the best I could. I'm not an architect, but I did the best I
Okay.
could with that.
okay. And you're not expanding the house or anything?
No.
No, okay.
No changes really gonna be made at all, except maybe a wall for, to separate, to give them a bedroom area.
Okay, okay. All right, let's go to questions. Corinne?
That was one of my questions, whether this is, all that you have drawn here is going to be contained in the basement as it is right now.
Oh, yes.
So you're not expanding or doing any type of, like, outside construction? You're not putting an
whatsoever.
addition or anything like that?
None whatsoever.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Okay. Ken?
So, what are the common areas that you'll be sharing down there?
None really. Maybe just the laundry room.
Laundry room, okay.
That was probably about it. They will have, it is very, very important that my parents keep their independence.
Mhm.
We are constantly joking that we're going to be living separately but together.
Okay.
And my family, my wife and daughter, and I will be upstairs in case my parents need us for anything. But, we've already started to set up rules about knocking on doors and giving each other space and all of that. So we'll be together, but as separate as appropriate.
Okay. All right.
No other questions?
Jeff?
So the reason you're looking for the 1,091 square feet is because that's the size of the basement?
Whatever is,
Because normally we limit to 750 square feet, which admittedly is a small EFLA, but,
I just purchased the house recently. I've only lived there a matter of maybe 2 months.
mhm.
Whatever, like I said, we are not expanding at all. Whatever the size of the basement is, that is the size that it's going to stay.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions.
I'm just going to ask the building inspector just to clarify. We had a conversation earlier today.
Yeah, I meant,
So-
we went over this whole thing, and I actually suggested he do the two-family because he meets all the requirements to convert to a two under the special permit provisions. And he was adamant that he had no interest
In having a two-family
in having
house.
a two-family and creating a separate service. He was very adamant about taking care of his family, and when that process is done, he would be more than happy to go back to a single family. So he thought this was a better way to go, but again, he does meet all the criteria to convert to a
Two-family.
Okay. Okay, for clarification.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you. My only question was, when you have an EFLA, that's one of the criteria, you have to have common use area, say a kitchen and so what is it, only the laundry is gonna be shared?
We're going to have a downstairs living room. It has a fireplace to it, a wooden stove fireplace, and we've been talking about, you know, the future of all of us being together and spending time down there and, you know, enjoying each other and watching TV and sitting by the fire and things like that. But, you know, like I said, it's very, very important that my parents are able to keep their independence for as long as possible.
I hear you.
And I'm gonna try to stay out of their hair as much as I can until I need to be in their hair.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
John?
Thanks, Madam Chair. Mr. Wade, so the board, you know, you're asking for over the allotted amount of square footage, which is 750 by special permit, but it doesn't sound like you know exactly what that number is. How do we find that number out?
It's 13.
Because you're asking us to vote on something, but we don't have an answer.
That is the number, 1091.
1091.
It's 13 by 51, yeah, so.
It is what it is, yeah.
So the laundry is shared, there's only one laundry in the house.
It is laundry.
And the laundry room is the shared area. Another thing that's required, right, for us to vote on it, you have to have a shared area.
Well, you can, I mean, under the special permit, you can waive any requirement.
Okay.
That's
Is that what you're asking us to do?
To be completely honest, I was told that to be able to have my parents come and live with me as a legal in-law apartment, I needed to come here and.
That is correct.
And I want to do things the right way. The nuts and bolts of it all, I am not an expert in this.
Okay.
I was
I
told
get-
that doing this the correct way legally,
Yep.
that I needed to come here and talk to you. about
And that is
what
correct.
I wanted to do.
I guess I'm just trying to understand, are you going to have a
341 additional square feet.
341, and you are or are not going to have a shared common area?
Dave, the
The
laundry room
Laundry room
is
is shared.
Oh, I'm asking him to answer.
He already said that.
Yes,
Well, he said two things. He said the laundry room, but then he said living room, so.
their living room, which has a wooden stove in it, is something that we've all discussed, you know, looking forward to spending time together in that area, cold winter nights, spending time together as a family. So, yes, a living room area, a laundry area.
Okay. That's all. Thanks.
Okay, all right. And so you know that there's a deed restriction, it'll go on your deed that you have an in-law apartment or an extended family living area. If you then took the kitchen back out, it could, I assume, come back off the deed, right? Yeah, okay. So, but it's actually, will be recorded at the Registry of Deeds.
Whatever
You're
is
aware of that?
necessary. Again,
Yeah.
I don't see, again, I'm not an expert in any of this. I don't see how
Okay.
that's going to affect my life in any way. If you think it's going to, I.
No, we
insight.
just try to make sure that people know what's going on.
I just want to take care of my parents.
Okay, that's good. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Mr. Duggan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Matthew Duggan, Town Meeting Member Precinct 1. Just a question about the ingress and egress for this structure. So from the street, it looks like a raised ranch with a single entrance. Is it the case where when you go through the front door, there's a set of stairs that go down to the basement and a set that go up to the
It
living
appears
area?
that way from
Okay.
the,
So will there, once you go through that main front door, will there be some other doors there to differentiate the two levels? What will separate the in-law and the main living area?
is there an answer to that?
Yeah, on the diagram that I came up with, you'll see that there will be a door at the bottom of the stairs,
Okay, to go into that area?
Yeah.
Okay,
most definitely.
okay.
And the other, typically there would be a requirement for two egresses. So is there some type of, like a Bilco door or something else
There
in
is.
case of an emergency, there
Another
was another
door.
way to get out?
The walkout bulkhead.
There's another bulkhead? Okay, great, thank you.
Well, that's really a building inspector question, yeah,
Well, I think it speaks
Yeah.
to
right.
the approval of.
Safety, yeah.
And also, just one last thing, the size, town meeting said 750 for an EFLA.
Yeah,
So, but I think maybe in this case, it's,
yeah.
it'd be kind of silly to kind of stick to that number.
Okay, thank you.
And there are, just for your information, there are specific requirements to waive that for medical reasons. We have done that in the past. We did one on Burley Street.
Yeah,
We've
several
done
of
it in
them.
a few instances,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, anything else from the audience? Okay, we'll go back to the board.
I
This
would
one.
vote for this.
I would vote for this.
I will vote for this.
I will vote for this.
I do, I don't think, I see where the, it's the footprint of the building, so although it's 340 over, I don't see a detriment to the neighborhood, so I would vote for this.
Okay, and I would vote for this. Can I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we grant the special permit in accordance with section 9(3.3) of the zoning bylaw for an oversized extended family living area that will be 1,091 square feet. Do I also need all the
I
other
will second
items,
that.
Rich? I think I do, right?
Yes, the criteria.
The municipal water and sewer system shall not be overloaded by the proposed use. Public streets shall not become overloaded by the proposed use. The value of other land and buildings will not be depreciated by the proposed use. The specific site is an appropriate location for the use or structures. The use developed will not adversely affect the neighborhood. There will not be an undue nuisance or serious hazard to vehicles or pedestrians, and adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided to ensure the proper operation of the proposed use, structure, and condition. The proposed use or structure will be in harmony with the general purpose of this bylaw.
I will second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you can meet
Meet
Rich
outside.
in the hallway.
luck.
And he'll, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in. You're welcome. Good luck.
Good luck.
Our next case is Sandra Grillo, Trustee-Green Realty Trust, docket number 19-4808, requesting a variance and finding to allow the expansion of an existing non-conforming structure to accommodate a second floor deck and egress in accordance with section 16.4 and 3.11, General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 6 of the Danvers zoning bylaws at 105 Water Street.
Good evening.
Thank you very much. My name is Nancy McCann. I'm here on behalf of Sandra Grillo, so here this evening as well.
Okay.
And we are requesting zoning relief relative to the property at 105 Water Street. Back in 2007, Sandra received site plan approval to allow the use of this building for her skin rejuvenation center. She is an expert in skin rejuvenation and skin therapy. She has been in this business for quite a number of years, and over 10 years on this particular property.
Do you want an easel? There's an easel in the back.
That's right.
All right, okay.
This property was rezoned from Industrial 1 to the Waterford Village District when that new district was put into place. And again, in 2007, Sandra received site plan approval under that new zoning district to allow the use of the property for her business. What she is proposing to do now, she has an existing business on the first floor that will remain, her skin rejuvenation business. The second floor is currently limited to office use and storage. And what she's proposing to do is to convert that second floor into a modestly sized residential unit, 2 bedrooms, which she will occupy. That use, it really falls squarely under the purpose and intent of the Waterfront Village District, which was to provide for some smaller type of businesses on first floor and low-density type of residential uses on the second floor. So the use is absolutely permitted. So we're not here for the use. What we are here for is some zoning relief relative to creating that egress area in the back coming from her second floor unit. The existing building is 15 feet from, main portion is 15 feet from this side lot line. There's a bump out here, so actually the building is 9.1 feet from this side lot line here. The requirement, because of the Waterfront Village District being here and the R1 district being here, is 25 feet. So the current building does not meet the 25-foot setback. What we need to do is create an egress area coming down from the second floor. And Sandra would like to have a small deck off of what will be her new kitchen, and then the stairs coming down. The deck is 12 by 8 to 8 feet 2 inches to be exact. And that deck area is shown here, highlighted or shaded in this area here. The new deck and stairs will not be as close to the lot line as the existing building. So we are not increasing that existing condition. So the new stairs, the closest point will be 5.5 feet. So it fits right into this little cutout of the building as it exists now. When I first met with Rich about this, looks like a non-conforming building. We asked for a finding to alter or extend the non-conforming building. In preparing the application, it looks like this building was originally constructed back in 1961 by virtue of a variance. So I requested the variance in addition, and I think variance is probably the correct approach since this building was built by a variance initially. So we're not increasing the non-conformity, we're not increasing the encroachment into the setback. It's for a residential use. In the R1 zoning district, as I put in the application, the setback is only 8 feet. So this person can have a deck 8 feet off of the lot line, but because of this zoning district, we've got to have our deck 25 feet from the lot line. So we think it certainly makes sense, the hardship being the existing building. As it is, we're just going to put this existing deck off of what will be the new kitchen. The only other renovation to the site is going to be an internal staircase. We will have to go back to the planning board to modify the minor modification of the previously approved site plan for this site to add that deck. We've located 2 parking spaces here for the residential use. We have in excess of the required number of parking spaces for the use, both of the uses, both the commercial use on the first floor and the residential use on the second floor. And that's it. Be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, sounds good. Kathy, Ken is gonna vote on this. All right, start with you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Attorney Buchanan, just a clarification. You said 5.5 feet, but I think you meant 15.5 feet, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
15.5.
Yes, you said 5.5.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. So the basement entry as shown on the plan that's currently at 9.1, that's not changing.
Correct.
So you're really just adding this kind of bump out, if you will.
Filling in that little corner.
Okay. And this becomes an apartment, basically, above the business.
Yes,
Okay.
1 residential unit.
I have no further questions.
Thank you. I only had questions on the parking, but you answered that, so I have no further questions.
Okay.
I have no questions, Madam Chairman.
Ken?
No, I was wondering what the deck, did the neighbor, the abutting property behind get noticed? Probably.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
they had to, yeah. So they don't, what would they say about that? Because now they can look into her backyard, into their backyard.
Sandra did reach out to the neighbors as we would always do, and she did have some conversation, and they got notice of the hearing. But
Okay.
there's some concern because of the location of the deck, and you can see in my windows probably so. But the deck is 15.5 feet away. This existing house, we've got 2 parking spaces here. So once you've got 15.5 feet here, then you can probably get another 20 feet before you get to the house, because you do have 2 good-sized parking spaces
Yep.
there.
Okay, but they didn't complain about it at all. All right.
They could be here.
They would have.
Yeah,
They
yeah, they
would've
would
gotten
do have.
notice, so.
Okay, gotcha. No other questions?
I don't have any questions.
So the 2 spaces number 1 and 2 are where you have resident parking? Because there's no spaces numbered 1 and 2.
14 and 15.
Oh,
They're numbered 14, 15 on a plan, but
oh, I see, they're up here.
And one of them's handicapped.
Okay, I see. All right, so this has been like zoned and rezoned, but under the new waterfront zoning, second floor apartments are allowed, so,
Yes, and was really the intent of the district. If you look at the purpose of the
Right.
district was to provide for low to moderate density housing on the upper levels.
Okay.
With some businesses on the first floor. So this originally, I believe, was constructed as a home initially.
probably was in R1, right?
No, it was in
Our-
industrial district in 61, and that's what the
Okay,
variance was for, in part, was to put a residential unit or house.
in an industrial zone.
Then
yeah, it's gone.
in business, and Sandra's been there, as I said, for over 10 years with her
Okay,
business.
all right. Is there anything that you want to add, Mr.
This was
Maloney?
Andrew Daly's father's house.
There you go.
Probably watching this.
Okay.
Some history there.
Any questions or comments? Mr. Duggan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Matthew Duggan, Town Meeting Member, Precinct 1. So this property typically has illegal signage out near the street, like sandwich boards on a regular basis over the past number of years, probably, I would say, probably the last 10 years. So was there a condition where we can eliminate these signs and not have any of those sandwich boards out close to the
Let me,
curb? Within
ask
just a
if,
few feet of the curb of Water Street?
We've discussed the illegal signs before, haven't we?
Yes, so I removed all of the banners when I was told to. There's never been a banner, and I started doing sandwich signs because I see them on all the businesses on that street. So I've been doing one sandwich sign in front, but I'm going to be getting a regular, I'll be applying for a regular freestanding sign as we discussed, and that little A-frame will be gone.
Yeah, they are, the A-frames are, the only place they're allowed is in the new zone downtown, so they are illegal too, so. But yeah, we have discussed getting you a freestanding sign to.
Yeah, I'm
pop up.
doing that. That's what I'm doing.
We have had discussions, I think we have Finder too.
Yes, I'm
So-
sorry, yes, that will be done.
Yeah.
We'll take that
Mrs.
out.
McCann, would you explain what she just said, since she wasn't in front of the microphone?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
The applicant and the building inspector had discussions about signage.
Okay.
And Sandra knows what signage is permitted now, and we'll be working with the building inspector to get what is permitted as a freestanding sign there. And we'll
Okay.
remove any illegal or otherwise offending signs.
Is there any signage for the building at this point?
I think there is
I
on.
believe there's signage on the building.
Yeah, I site
She's
visited.
allowed 2 signs, so she has one in the front, and then we recently, we got rid of some of the illegal signs and put one on the
Sign.
Rainbow Terrace side.
That I-
And then we did talk about, she was trying to get more exposure, and I said, why don't you just do the freestanding sign? She has been working on that, we haven't seen her plot.
There is a sandwich sign out there now.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, that's not allowed, so I want to
Okay.
get that cleaned up.
Okay,
Tonight.
okay. Mr. Duggan?
Yeah, and I can understand where there's some confusion about those types of signs.
Yeah, because they're around all over.
Yeah, they're, I don't want to say they're everywhere, but there's quite a few of them. So I can understand where if you saw them, you would think it would be all right to put one out there. So that's fine, as long as the applicant understands that. And also, you mentioned the freestanding sign, so there's some restraints for that too, specifically the setbacks from the public right of way. So keep that's going to be tough at this location because this is a narrow strip of grass there along the roadway. and then there's the asphalt, so that'll be a challenge to put the freestanding sign in there, in that area. So just something to keep in mind, but other than that, I think, sounds like a good idea, good plan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Any other questions from the board? No? Okay, comments?
Madam Chair, this looks like a modest improvement, and as Attorney McCann mentioned, in keeping with the waterfront district. So with that in mind, I would vote for this favorably.
Thank you.
I would vote for this. We didn't decrease the setback in any way or anything like that. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I would vote for this. I don't think it's any more detrimental. There's no more encroachment, so I'll vote for it.
I would vote for this too.
Okay,
I would vote for this as well.
and I'll vote for this.
I can't.
Thank you.
That's the clerk.
Who would like to make the motion?
I don't think I can.
Madam Chair, I move that are we granting both the variance and finding?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I move to grant the dimensional variance from section 16.4 of the zoning bylaws for second floor egress as shown on the plans. The hardship is the shape of the lot and the location of the existing structure on the lot.
Can I have a second?
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Chair, I move that we grant the finding in accordance with section 3.11.2B to add a second floor egress as shown on the plans to a pre-existing non-conforming structure.
I will second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, good luck.
Good luck.
Just get rid of the signs. Thank you.
I think Jeff seconded both of them.
Jeff?
Yes.
Yes,
second
Jeff,
I did.
on both of those.
Okay.
Good luck. It'll be good to get some use out of the second floor, right? Yeah.
Madam Chair, our final case, Ed Bruenjes?
Bruenjes.
Bruenjes.
Docket number 19-4809, requesting a dimensional variance for relief of a setback requirement for a proposed addition in accordance with Section 7, Table 2 of the Danvers zoning bylaws at 101 Brad Street Avenue.
Hi, how are you? Good. So you have two front setbacks, right? Yeah.
Lucky you.
Okay, so just identify yourself and tell us
Ed Bruenjes.
what you'd like to do. Thank you.
Well, I don't know if you've walked the property or if you're looking at the plans, you can see that the existing building was tucked into one corner of the lot. I have an existing driveway on the, I think it's the north side of the house, inside the lot. And the front of the building has room into the yard, but it does not lend itself very well to any additions because it's the side of the building. I have an existing sunroom that is now 16 feet. I think it's 16 feet from the property line, so this is non-conforming. That is a 7-foot wide sunroom that I would like to add 7 feet to create a 14-foot sunroom. So I'm asking for 7 additional feet to build out the end of the house, as well as adding to the upstairs at the same time.
So it'll be two-story, what you're adding on?
Yes.
Yeah,
But
okay.
the second floor will not encroach on the street as far as the first floor. It'll be set back a little bit, just
That's
for better visual appeal.
this picture here, sort of? Yeah, okay. Okay. Well,
This house is barely 1,500 square feet.
Okay,
Really,
Small.
yeah, I've been there almost 30 years, but
it's very well
It would be
maintained,
nice.
it's lovely, in a great spot, yeah,
it is all very nice, but it is quite small by today's standards.
okay.
I'd also like to point out that the way the road is constructed, I measured 31 feet now from the corner of my sunroom to the curb.
So visually, it does not look like I'm right on the road. It's just that the property line is well set back from the curb.
Okay,
So on paper, it looks like I'm very close.
but,
I do
okay.
have one picture in case any of you have not seen the property.
Does anybody want
I
to?
saw it.
Sorry.
Was that a-
I think
was
pretty
there.
much everybody went there,
Oh,
probably,
okay.
Thank
okay?
you.
We try to at least drive by, so, okay. Anything else?
I do have some nearby properties that are also very close to the street. They are across Brad Street Avenue, my immediate neighbor, and the two houses beyond his are also 10 or 15 feet at the most from the street, from the actual curb. So I think visually, those houses are closer than mine would be after this was done.
Okay. I did have a conversation with Mr. Maloney about the front setbacks in this neighborhood. Do you want to just tell us what your opinion is on the,
We have a street averaging provision in the zoning bylaw, so people they have to have a survey the whole street, every property that abuts that particular street. We have maybe 20 of them done, and we reference the property that it was done for, and we have a master log. So I have not Brad Street Ave,
Doty?
Doty on my list, but I don't know, I went through all the files twice, but somebody did a street averaging for Doty. I can't find it. It's the only one in the whole list that I don't have the address that it was put into.
But you think that this probably meets the,
Well, I know it's
Or
not.
close.
This is Res 2, so,
Yeah.
you know, by the bylaw, it's 30 feet. But I know you can just drive, typically you can drive down the street and take a guess.
that it's not 30? Yeah.
It's not 30,
Yeah.
but I can't find it to verify what it actually is.
Okay.
But it's definitely less than,
Well, it's good that we know that, though. Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Somebody actually did one for all of Brad Street Ave.
Oh, that's a big street.
Yeah, I think Griffin Engineering did it from Beverly for, where the Brad Street extends past Doty, there's two houses, and the house on the left-hand side when you're walking down to the water actually paid the survey of the house on Brad Street.
Wow.
What was that average?
I can get it for you.
I was just wondering.
But, yeah.
Because
They're all
it's in the same
close.
general area.
What happened was, that used to be Res 1,
This is Brad
so the
Street.
majority of the houses coming down Brad Street Ave were 20 feet. So that average was.
Right, probably around
Now
20.
Doty, when you get down by the water, they were all fishing shaddocks, and well before zoning, so.
Yeah,
A lot of the people on Tibbetts have been in here
okay,
to tear down and rebuild, and,
yeah. We've had a lot of these houses come before us, so, yeah.
there's been a number on Doty that came before you.
Yes.
One of them did and again, I apologize, it's the one street that I can't find the address that we put in the file.
It's all right, you're good at keeping records. You do a good job compared to
I
a
told
lot
you
of
that I
towns.
was so frustrated, I wouldn't let him leave the office and I'd work my file twice.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Anything else you want to tell us about your project? No? You basically want a bigger family, sunroom
And the upstairs
and a
bedrooms
second
will
floor
get,
bedroom
a little
space.
bigger than they are
Okay.
now. My bedroom is about 9 by 11.
Okay. You have a water view there, right?
Feet view, yeah, in the
Okay,
winter.
okay.
A lot of the houses in that area have grown a lot.
So you're losing your view?
There's little bits, but
Okay, all right. Corinne's gonna vote on this, and anybody else have a question?
We haven't had any.
Okay, we're gonna start down here.
It is interesting that for this lot, that the house is like way over here in the
Tucked in the
corner.
corner,
So
yeah.
my guess is that might have something to do with the best view when they put the house on the lot. It does, you know, where the addition is, it is gonna be close to both ends, and it's gonna make the house closer to both streets.
really only to Doty. I'm heading just toward Doty with the addition, not towards Brad Street Avenue.
No, I see.
Oh, yeah. Bring that down.
I don't have any other questions.
Okay.
What is the total square footage you're gonna be adding? Is it in
I'm
it?
adding 7 by 22 on the first floor,
7
and
feet.
10 by 22 on the second floor.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Yeah, under 400 square feet.
Yeah, under 400 square feet. Yeah. Anything else?
No, I was just wondering, so, what did the neighbors say across the street? Did you get any inkling from them, or what do they think about?
No, I know them all pretty well, and I have done work in the past, and they're pretty happy with what I've done. I haven't heard anyone raise any concerns.
Yeah, no one's here, so, all right.
It's a tidy property.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Very well maintained. The garage is nice, too. Yeah,
That was the last time I was here.
yeah.
I have no other questions.
Yeah. Okay.
I have no questions, Madam Chairman.
I have no questions, thank you.
John?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. You're gonna bring this setback to 9.4 feet at its shortest spot. And I do agree the garage came out nice. I think the garage might be bigger than your house.
It is?
Yeah. It's a good-looking garage.
It's a two-car, I know that
I think we
the town
approved it.
doesn't allow four, but this really is a two-car garage. It
Yeah.
just has extra space.
Yeah.
There's only two cars that
nice.
can fit in there.
Well, you need the space.
So it's a full foundation, and no water issues that you're aware of to do that?
I will put in a
Some.
sump.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of clay in that area, so
Yeah.
there's not very good drainage.
I don't have any additional questions.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any questions. Any questions, comments from the audience? No, they're quiet back there.
First time ever.
Okay.
All right, back to the board.
I would
Corinne,
vote
I'm
for
sorry.
this.
Yeah,
I would too. Vote for it.
Jeff.
Yeah, I'm struggling with it a little bit because, 9.4 is really tight. But it doesn't look like that on the property.
No.
So I'll vote for this.
I would vote for this. I don't think he should be strangle-held because he's where the house is on the lot.
Yeah.
So he's kind of in a bind. I would vote for this.
I too would vote for this. I think if you were to average that street, he would be right in line with what the rest of the street is, and what we are supposed to look at is, is this detrimental to the neighborhood? I don't see this, I see it as a very modest increase in space, one that's probably very much needed, so.
Yeah, a lot of little cottage houses
Yeah.
that were, like Rich said,
And
fish
it's,
shacks.
Right.
This is-
It looks like you take pride in your property, and I'm sure it'll come out
It'll look
nice.
beautiful, yeah.
It'll
I'm
look
sure
beautiful.
It'll be fine.
I'll make it look good.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Madam
And I
Chair.
would vote for this.
You would, okay, great. Madam Chair, I move that we grant a dimensional variance from Section 7, Table 2 of the zoning bylaws for an addition as shown on the plans. Do we need a date? Is there a date?
It's February 12th,
You're good with the plan?
One set of drawers in there.
right here,
Okay.
February 12th.
February 12th. The hardship is the shape of the lot, and that it has two frontages and the location of the pre-existing non-conforming structure on the lot.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, thank
Good
you,
luck.
good luck.
Good luck.
Meet with Rich.
Madam Chair, motion to adjourn?
Does anybody have any further business? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Good night,
Good night,
Danvers.
Danvers.